Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Every year, for the last 3 years, I've made some version of this video. And every year I think, wouldn't it just be great if I didn't have to make this video? Because this video, as I claim my 20 units, which is quite appropriate given that units are what we send to Greater Gifting Crystals. This video is, well, it's a cautious reminder that bad people exist in this world. And here's the thing about bad people. I've known plenty of them in my life. Bad people don't consider themselves to be bad people. They consider themselves to be heroes of their own story. Villains are not villains to themselves. They're misunderstood victims. And I'm not saying that you can't be a hero and a misunderstood victim at the same time. But if you're somebody that literally gets happiness and enjoyment out of stealing from people, especially like kids, in where good things go to die, aka global chat, you're a villain. You're a bad person. You're a jerk. And those people, more than ever before after Kabam's ban wave this weekend, exist. They want to convince you to friend request them, have you accept it, and then do the cardinal sin. If you get nothing else out of this video, remember, when you go to agree to give somebody, if possible, and it's a stranger, if this is a friend that you know like well or an alliance mate, that's one thing. But if this is a stranger, if they're really serious about it, gift you first. Because guess what happens, right? They say, hey man, I'll give you a greater gifting crystal back. Just send me one first. And so you do. And then they ghost you. Not to be confused with our beloved ghost in the contest. They ghost you. They unfriend you. They block you. And they steal your 300 units. Now, if you're a big fan of the arena, or if you've got some pocket change, one, you're not going to do this in the first place. But two, you might think, oh, it's just 300 units. What's the big deal? I've known people who got 300 units because they had requested like a $5 or $10 gift card to the Google Play or Apple Store. Because 300 units is still more than $10 worth of units, right? Still more. So let's say that you've got no units and you grind the arena for 25 units and you've got a $10 gift card from grandma that gives you 300 and let's just say 302 units. Why not? And then you buy a greater gifting crystal and it's stolen from you. That doesn't feel like it was $10. It feels like it was $1 million because it was everything you owned in the game. And you know what happens is, and I don't know why they think of me. I guess I should take it as a compliment. But I get a message from this kid. Maybe they're in 8th grade. Maybe they're in college. Heck, maybe they're a grown adult. Although college, technically, you're still a grown adult. Now that I say that out loud. And they say, Prof, this guy named this is a scammer. He just convinced me to give him a greater gifting crystal, and then he ghosted me. Can you please make a video about it? And I'm telling you right now, no. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to feel sorry for you. It's a really tough way to learn that lesson, but I'm not going to make a video about it. That's why this video exists, so that I could talk about it before it happens. I'll send you a link if you ask me to make a video. I'll say, no, I've already covered it. Here's the link. It's not that I say that because I don't care about you. I very much do. But it's because you've got to know not to trust strangers. Your parents were right. Who would have thought it? Stick to the people that you care about. It also reminds me, like, I'm somebody, yes, I've got 51,800 units and counting, and that's the most by far I've ever had at this point. But do not send someone, me or anybody else, a gift without talking to them first, and then say, well, now you've got to send me back exactly what I sent you without talking to them. That's just rude and weird and makes me feel bad, for one. Because here I am, I've got like a notification, like, oh, what it is. Here's 3 small gifting crystals. Could you send me a greater gifting crystal now? And it's like, you didn't send me one. Well, I sent you almost 300 units worth of stuff. I didn't ask for this, right? Like, that also gives me some trust issues. Because I would like to think that I'm a man of my word. But if you haven't talked to me, there is no word. There is no contract. And so if you're sending me things just in the hopes that I'll send you things, it's just a weird system. It makes me also remember that I grew up in a household where all love was transactional. My mom would do something for me, and then she'd hold it over my head for a long time, even if it was just like making dinner. So if you give something to the channel, I'll shout you out. I'll be thankful to do that. But if you just hit me up and say, here you go, Prof, where's my stuff? And you haven't talked to me, that's just not the way to handle things. If you expect something in return, at least. If we've got a contract, sure, no problem. In the meantime, bad people exist. If you don't know anyone that you can gift, I have a hard time believing that scenario exists. There are people out there who don't do Line, who don't do Discord. They're all flying solo on their own. It's part of the reason why they aren't growing their account very much, because they don't do Alliance Quest or Alliance War. If you don't do those two things, you're limited to the ways that you can grow the account. If you don't do the arena, you're really limited. Maybe you've got event quests completion, and that's about it. But just spread the word, because I hate to say this, but I'm going to put the prof in prophecy, because there are going to be horror stories that pop up in just a few days from now. And they're the same horror stories we've seen for years. And I want to say that I'll have sympathy, and to a certain extent I will. But I'll just be shaking my head more than anything that people let the blind trust of strangers get in the way of a good decision. So be smart. Only gift with your alliance mates if you're not in an alliance. Have them gift you first, and then don't be the person that becomes a bad person. Have them gift you first, and then gift them back. But if you have them gift you first, you prevent the scenario from happening that I described, where they ghost you after they got their crystal. That's just a smart way to do it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Please, no horror stories this year in 2021. That's my biggest prayer to end the year for this game.